What do you get when you mix a health coach and a wellness coach mixed with a lot of curiosity? You get two people who ask a lot of questions about health and wellness. Today we ask, why is it so frustrating to lose weight?
You know the scene. You work hard, watch what you eat, and still the scale doesn't budge. It is so frustrating. What can we do? So let's get started as we ask.
Wait, what?
Hi,
Um,
Leah.
Hi, Kamna. All right, all right. This episode is I am ready. I'm
You
ready.
are.
Yeah, and I just want to just give a little disclaimer. It's gonna come across as if I'm angry.
Oh, well, I
And
am.
but I want you all to know that as I was preparing for this, I am angry, but really at myself.
Right, right.
So, like, when I say things like, "You need to do this," or "You need to," like, that's directed at me. I'm just saying
Mhm.
"you" as the word because I don't wanna
Right.
am I making sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, I don't want anybody to think I'm talking to them, although maybe I am, and if you think I am, then, hmm.
Hopefully, you're talking to me because I think I need help.
Oh, I can't wait. Alright. I think we all do.
Yeah, this topic is, I was like, I
Yeah.
actually had a little bit of a hard time researching it because it was like too on the what's in the pain spot.
Too right on the money.
Yeah.
It was poking you, and you didn't wanna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
poked,
exactly.
right? So, okay. My call to action was to light up my Fitbit. Remember?
Oh
I was
yeah,
whatever that I don't even know. I know, Apple people, like, close their rings.
right.
I don't really know what to say for the Fitbit. It's just my little activity circle was filled in.
Don't you get
Uh,
fireworks?
I don't get fireworks, and I'm looking
Oh,
at my phone. Well, on my on the actual watch I do, but not on the app
okay.
fireworks.
Hmm.
I did it 7 full days, and guess what? I'm gonna go for a 7 more.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm doing really good with that.
Was
I'm
it difficult?
um there was, like, only 1 or 2 days where it was difficult, but not horrible. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on 13 in a row days of exercise for just July, that's not including June.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
it's great for me, I don't like exercising.
So how can I ask you, and if you don't want to answer, it's fine, but how many minutes is your requirement for exercise on your
I believe it's 20 minutes,
okay.
but it is also not consecutive.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So, as long
But
as
you
I
just have
do
20
10
minutes in the day.
yep, 10 there are some nights when I was, like, just doing 5 and then it wouldn't light up, so then I would set the timer and do 5 more, and then it still wouldn't light up, and then I would do 5 and then it would go over, so it's
Oh,
20 non-consecutive. I also did my arms one time, even though that really wasn't my call to action. I did that, and I bought an avocado. So I really checked
you
all my
bought one avocado?
I bought 1 avocado, and guess what? It got rotten too fast.
Oh,
I can't find the happy place with avocados, and it really makes me mad, but I did it.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of tips for you if you want them.
I guess I gotta go look for them. But alright, how was your what was your call to action? 1,400 calories,
My
right?
my call to action was to watch my calories, and
And
I learned some interesting things. I um am always going over my calories by probably 100 to 150 average. So
okay,
some days it's a lot more, some days it's right about there. Some days are less, but those days are very few.
okay.
And so my calories are over. And some of those days I'm actually still hungry. So if I'm sitting around 13, 1,400 calories, I'm hungry. So the sweet spot for me is more than like 1,400, 1,500. If I had 1,600, I'd be great.
But are you
I could do that, no
hungry
problem.
because you're not eating enough
Well,
protein and fiber?
yes, that's the second piece of this is
Okay.
that if I'm watching my protein and fiber, I tend to go over on my carbs. I'm full of data right now. So if I go over my carbs, then my weight's going to be stuck because the vegetarian sources of protein are generally higher in carbs
The
also.
therapy. Yeah.
So I need to work on all three together. I need to get the protein, so I'll be full. I need to get the fiber, so I'll be full. But I also need to do it in a way that I'm watching my calories.
Have you found anything that's good, high protein, low carb?
Well, the main things are really dairy, and I'm trying
Uh,
to sidestep that. I'm not completely off dairy, but I'm trying to sidestep it because it gives me some issues.
mhm.
So the thing that used to work was the Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt, but I'm not doing that anymore. So I don't know. It's very confusing to me, honestly. But I realize that for me, 1400 feels less.
Okay. And is that free of cookies and stuff like that?
Mostly, I'm not going to say I don't have sweets. I do. I can't, I've tracked everything this week and I was like, I have to put it in and I'm going over almost every day.
Okay. That makes me
And
feel
I,
good because
and
sometimes go ahead.
oh no, you finish.
And I was gonna say sometimes I feel broken when I go over. I'm like, I don't understand how people, so I like that you're being honest about it.
Well, I think that's the thing that's keeping me stuck in a plateau
Mhm.
because it doesn't take more than a couple hundred calories for you to be at maintenance.
True.
So I think that's the thing that's keeping me really stuck because I think I'm doing all the things and which hence this topic, but that's what it is I'm stuck and I really, really need to be a little bit more mindful.
So I have a dumb question. Are nuts high in carbs?
They are not as high in carbs,
Okay.
but I think because they have fiber,
Hmm.
fiber is a type of carbohydrate. So, it's going to be there. And I think I have to find the sweet spot. I have to get a couple of things that work, that don't make me bloated, that don't cause me GI distress, but also can help me feel full. And I think that's the piece where I'm missing.
Hmm. Okay. Have you done cottage cheese?
I have not.
Because you know how some like for me it's the way that affects me. So
Mhm.
I can't really have cottage. I can, but I don't choose not to have cottage cheese or the Greek yogurt. But I wonder if yours you could have the one and not the other. Do you know what I mean? You know how sometimes
Yeah, I definitely have problems with lactose. So I think something that's lower in lactose would be better. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on it because I
okay,
think this data is useful. It gives me something to start with.
okay. Now, were you going over your calories by like 1 to 200 or like 400?
No, it about maximum 200, but there was a couple of days where I think I didn't care. And then I was like 400 over. And that can, if you look at the whole week, that just adds up a lot.
Yeah, one more question, sorry. Or I probably have more, but one more I can think of right this second. Did you do an average?
No, I didn't do an average.
Because the Half Size Me podcast that I used to listen to, gosh, a long time
Hmm.
ago, she always said 6 weeks and you take averages
Hmm.
and see where you are. And I just wondered if you did that because there is some
Yeah.
truth to some days you do are just lower eating days.
Hmm.
Some days you just don't want to. Like, remember that one episode we did on like when it's super hot out, you
Yeah.
don't eat as much. So, I mean, it could be something like that too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely. I I'm still going to keep trying because I think this is really useful information for me. It's frustrating, definitely, but I'm going to look at the app to track and see what my numbers are, where am I going over. And now that I have the data in front of me of what I'm eating
Yeah.
and what days I'm more full, I can say, okay, these things were better for me and these things were not so great.
Okay.
Because even when I go out, I can still pick better things.
That's a great point. Great point. So, oh,
Oh, I know it's your turn to share, but I really want to share something today.
okay. I would love
Oh,
for you to share
sorry.
something, but I have forgot I wanted to tell you something first.
Oh,
I part of my call to action, but I didn't tell anybody, was I wanted to start weighing myself every day again. And I
uh-huh.
started. Did you know that the Lose It app, you can weigh yourself every day and take a picture and put your picture right by that weight.
Okay. Oh, so you can monitor your
So you can
progress.
monitor your progress. And now I'm not doing that yet, and nor am I going to do that every day. But I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, because
Okay,
I
but
kind of wish I would have taken a picture like a year ago. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Anyway,
But Leah, I weigh myself in my birthday suit, so I don't
well, you
know.
could just put a bra on, underwear on, and then right? I do too, by the way. I know
Yeah. Yeah. True.
but you could put a picture in. No, you can't. Because we also learned that new thing where if you share your info, somebody else can hack in and see. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't ever do that
that
on there. Okay,
no,
good,
that
good
I
reminder.
wouldn't do that anyway. So
Good reminder. So, all right, what yeah,
no,
you tell me. You wanted to share something this
I
week.
want to share something. So I started following this lady on Instagram. She might be on Facebook too, but I didn't follow her there. Her handle is Glucosegoddess, and she seems relatively young to me. She 30s, 40s. So I'm surprised at how knowledgeable she is. She talks about all things sugar related, and it's
Is she,
fascinating.
is she a diabetic like nutritionist or
Let me see her. I don't think she has information here on what
oh, okay.
her background is. Oh, French biochemist,
Oh,
NYT bestselling author, and an activist.
dang. Okay, I'm gonna
But
pull her up right now as you're talking. Go ahead.
she talks about like if you're going to have dessert, have it right after your meal to decrease the sugar spike. She
So
says that even if you're not diabetic, you could have sugar spikes all throughout your day based on what you're eating.
I when you have a sugar spike, what exactly like, is there a feeling that we should be like, that we need to feel? Do you know what I'm saying?
So I think when you have a sugar spike, you get that little bit of a rush, you feel good, and then your body's like, whoa, that was a lot. And it sends out the troops to mobilize all that extra sugar. And then it like your body just crashes. So you feel tired and you feel more hungry and you're like, I need something to eat because like all that sugar was put away into storage. So you have this crash because your body's like, wait, we got to save this for a rainy day. And then your body says, let me give me some food. I didn't really actually get food.
Do people also feel like they're gonna throw up?
I'm sure you can have a lot of different symptoms,
Yeah.
but in general, that's what I know. And she just whatever her posts are very interesting, and how to use vinegars to mitigate blood sugar spikes, and
Ooh,
just like a whole bunch of, I know you love vinegar,
I love vinegar.
cooking, and I find her posts very interesting. I've
Okay.
learned a lot.
Her real name is Jessie something very French with an accent and everything.
Yes, I'm not going to try it.
Inchaspe? In I don't know, but
Oh,
okay.
she also has YouTube videos. So if you want to learn more and you have more time, I think she's really interesting.
You need to DM her. Slide into her DMs and ask if we can interview her.
I would love to, but I think she's kind of a big deal. So I don't know.
We're kind of a big deal. All
Okay.
right? At least in
All
my
right.
opinion. I just
I
happened to find her one post and it shows the difference between a glucose spike when you have peanut butter with no added sugar versus peanut butter with sugar in it.
and what does it say?
Well, it just shows that your glucose level stays very steady, but if you have one with peanut butter in it, it goes up and then or with sugar in
Sugar.
it, it goes up and then down, which I think is pretty interesting. And she's the one she's showing has like organic sugar in it. It's not like horrible ingredients,
Oh,
but it's still showing that like all of that's going to be something. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, there's a whole thing on why she doesn't drink juice. Oh boy, you're gonna have me down a rabbit hole today on her.
I know. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. She's so interesting, and she's very easy to understand, which is what I like. She's not too scientific and
Yeah.
too like brainy, nerdy, which I like, but I want it to be understandable.
Yep. Got it. I like it.
So
Thank you for sharing.
sorry to take over your week, but I
You're
just
you're okay. I promise. I'll have to come up with something to top that. So,
yes.
all right. So we getting into frustrations.
Do we really have to?
I'm fired up over it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I think for me, this topic it's probably my whole adult life. I would say after I got married and my life changed, I moved from a colonial house to a little 2-bedroom apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment, not a lot of movement, eating changed. I didn't really know how to cook very well, so I'm sure we're eating out more at that time. So it started in my 20s and now I'm 50 something. That's a long time to be frustrated.
Mhm. It's a great point. If I never even thought of that. If I look back, I bet you I've been frustrated just as long.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it always feels like so much work all the time,
Mhm. Every day.
every day.
Mhm.
And if I really look at my habits, um, I in my delusional mind, I'm like, I've cut down on my food where I used to eat like a bowl of cereal and 2 pieces of toast with lots of butter for breakfast. Now I'm at 1 slice of toast with peanut butter and blueberries. I've cut change from like regular milk to almond milk. I've changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
I watch my snacks, I watch the ingredients, and still my scale is stuck. And I'm mad. I'm just mad.
Yeah. And it's fair because everything you did should be like in my mind, you should have lost like 20 pounds just from taking one piece of bread away because
Yeah.
I've always been taught that bread is so bad. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I'm with you. I'm mad for you that that didn't magically make you get to where you wanted to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's maddening,
It is. It
maddening.
is.
But is that all that you're doing right?
No. Well, that's what I'm doing right. Okay. I'm still exercising, but I'm not exercising the way that I was.
Okay.
I realized also because I was tracking my calories and I was watching my night snacks, but I'm also sitting because we're binge watching a show. We're watching 3 episodes at a time, and I'm not really even getting up. Whereas I used to walk around the house all the time before.
Mm,
I'm, at least for the past 2 months, I haven't been lifting weights. There's a lot of things that are actually different
hmm.
if I go to look at it, you
Yeah.
know?
So then it's like, I think what happens is we really, really, really get frustrated with weight loss and we want to blame the weight loss, but really what we need to be is frustrated at ourselves.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, I was reading something and researching this that, let me read it so I don't get it wrong.
Okay.
Um, If you have lost weight in the past by exercising or changing your diet and try to use those strategies again to lose weight, your body reacts mainly to hormones and metabolism, and it will adjust to prevent similar damage and you'll see lower weight loss. So if you did something before and you lost weight
Oh,
from
I see what you're
it,
saying. Yeah.
you won't see those same results as you age.
Right. Because you're not that same age. Like that's so
Right.
important for us all to remember is like,
But the main thing is your body is protective of you. So it's going to save your calories. It's going to say, oh, are we in deprivation mode? We need to store those calories. So your metabolism slows down. There's a lot of reasons why your body is just protecting you from losing weight.
so your body is just you're just so protected if you're a little bit overweight.
Mm-hmm. I was reading something else. Oh, I have a lot of random things that I was reading, and I was like, oh, so your metabolism will slow down to store fat. Okay. The more you work out or manage your calorie intake to lose weight, the more your metabolism wants to compensate by slowing down to maintain your current weight. This is called the metabolic compensation.
That's
It,
frustrating.
yes, it kicks in to preserve and store fat for future energy.
It's frustrating. So right off the bat, that's super frustrating. Don't you agree? Like you
100%.
are doing this and your body's going, I don't really think I want you to do that right now. Or
Yeah.
it's like a constant fight right there.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's like a battle with a teenager. You both want to win. Sorry, speaking from experience.
That is really
But
true.
right? It's like you both want to win and it's like who's going to win here? And
Yeah,
then
your
I
body
think what
wins.
happens is we get so frustrated, which then leads to we aren't motivated.
Mm-hmm.
And then we quit and we binge eat and then we start the cycle all over.
Oh, yes, totally. And
Right?
it also is a little, I don't mean to go down a dark road, but if my body's fighting me and losing weight, why am I killing myself doing this? Why
Right.
don't I just eat the chocolate cake?
And enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I saying I can only have a bite? I can only have two bites and then not enjoying myself because my body's going to do whatever it wants anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's the wrong mindset, but that's what I feel
No,
sometimes.
no, because I think that's a fact. It's like you're putting in the work, and if you're not seeing it being paid off, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like you working all day at a job, all day, busting your you know what, and then you don't get a paycheck.
Yes.
And then the company's like, yeah, we're just not going to pay you this week. Like, no, that's
Yes.
not cool. Like, you gotta, and that's how I feel like weight loss is. You're putting in the work, and then you're not seeing results, and then you go, well, whatever, and you lose that motivation.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly right.
It sucks. There's no other way around it. It sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I totally agree.
So,
I was also reading something about your set point, which I know you have talked about before.
yeah. And I remind me what that is.
So when your weight, your body may have a favorite like
Yes.
number
Hmm.
and it stays there because it's like we're happy here, don't mess with anything. And
Hmm.
as you age, your set point can increase, but it usually never goes down.
Well, that's not fair.
I agree.
I want to unplug myself and then plug it back in and see what happens.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes.
So yeah,
What?
my body has been stuck at this set point, which I should be thankful for because it hasn't gone up my set point.
Mhm.
But it's probably been this set point for a good 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Well,
um,
yeah. I think for me, if I was remembering when I felt really good about the number on the scale was probably about 3 years ago. And I remember looking at some of my pictures going, oh my God, I'm finally getting to where I want to go. And if you ask me what I did, I have no clue of
really you
why.
don't know what you did at
I
that
mean,
point.
not really. I was eating the yogurt for breakfast and I was probably moving a lot more. Well, okay, I know what I was doing, but it just since that point, which was probably about 3 years ago, I've gained about 8, 9 pounds. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, but for me, being so short, it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to say, because I'm deluding myself, I want to say that I'm doing everything the same. I haven't changed anything.
Mhm.
Nothing's different. I'm
Mhm.
still working so hard. But
Yep.
am I don't know.
I a million percent agree with everything you just said. And it's like a mirror image what you said because the same story. Like I
Really?
could be like, I'm doing the same thing I did 3 years ago, but no, I'm not. First of all, my lifestyle is different. I have a different job. Like that all factors in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you have to remember all of that too, which is even more frustrating because you
Yes.
just want to do what you know how to do.
Right. And as our body ages, those things maybe don't work anymore,
Yeah, that's true.
especially if
And
our body's fighting against us. I don't know.
mhm. So what did you come up with next for this topic?
Well, I had a lot of frustrating facts.
Okay, tell us those.
um, so your body can fluctuate 2 to 5 pounds per day. We know that. That's why
Yes,
they
that's why.
say
Go
they say
ahead.
to weigh yourself in the morning because you fasted all night and just to maintain consistency. But if you weigh in the afternoon or evening, just weigh at the same time with the same scale.
And that is also why I'm doing an average. I'm going back to that where I'm weighing every day and taking an average because we weigh in on Wednesdays, but there are some Tuesdays that it's the summer, I'm eating more, and
Hmm.
that's not fair to my Wednesday weigh in. It's just not.
Right.
Like that's not my real weight that morning. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And my life right now in the summer is a little bit more unpredictable on a Tuesday.
Yes.
So I'm going back to that. I feel like mentally that's better for me
Yeah.
at this season.
I think that's absolutely right because the fluctuations can happen for
Yeah,
any number of
right.
reasons.
And honestly, it's truly not fair to my Wednesday weigh-in. If Tuesday,
Hmm.
I like Tuesday, we're gonna go to an amusement park. Like I'm probably going to get ice cream and probably gonna have saltier food and maybe even sugary food. Like, why should
Right.
my Wednesday weigh-in be, I don't know if the word is punished, but at the same time, I want to enjoy that too.
Well, I think you don't want to be discouraged by that number
Right. That
because
too.
it's a weird psychological game that happens when you see a number that you're like, whoa,
Right.
even though you know why it's that.
And I fully would know this is not it is not the real thing. It still stinks when you have to, that's your number.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm
And
going
people
back.
can say it doesn't matter, you're more than the sum of your weight, but that number matters. Let's just
Mhm,
be honest. It matters.
mhm. And when I was doing my average, it didn't matter as much because I would get on that scale and I'd be like, oh, whew, it's up, but it's not my real weight. And then if it was down, I'd be like, don't get cocky because that's not your real weight. Like every
Mhm.
day I would say that. So I felt like it was a better accurate description of my body, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Um, it, obviously there research notes that if you start to change your body composition with your workouts by building more dense muscle mass and decreasing body fat, your scale may increase while your body fat percentage decreases. So if you're working out and you're working out with weights, your number might get bumped and then you might get discouraged that wait, I'm working out, why is my number going up?
oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But that's not a fair representation, just like what you were saying that Wednesday may not be a fair representation of your week.
Mhm.
So anyway,
And that's
uh,
another thing too, because I mean, I really think it's a fact that when you put the work in and you don't see immediate results, you lose motivation.
yes.
It's just, and I want it instant. I want it instant. If I start working out with weights 3 days this week, next week I want to see a change
Yes.
and see it and feel it. Like I want
Yeah.
that tangible proof. Now, the logic part of my brain knows that's not possible. Like I
Yeah.
know it takes time to do it,
Yeah.
but it's like, and I know, and I'm going to say this analogy wrong. So, whatever. If you think of a paper towel roll and you take one paper towel off, you used a paper towel, but it doesn't show any difference.
Absolutely.
You don't see the difference until there's like two left, and you're like, oh, look at all these paper. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I feel
Yes.
I want to be completely changed, and it's just not real.
No, it isn't. That's a really good analogy. I like that a lot.
I don't know how to connect it to weight loss, but I think you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes. If you lose a pound, you're like, oh, it's just a pound. And then you lose
Right.
10 and you're like, oh, okay, that made a little difference. And then if you lose more, you're like, okay, all the paper towels are gone.
Yeah. But I want to do one thing and magically all of the paper towels be gone,
Yes.
you know?
Yes, totally.
So,
I you sent me something that you made, and I really, really want to talk about this.
okay. So this is how I prepped for this meet. That's how I prepped for this today. I
Hmm.
went through like the facts of like, okay, I get frustrated so quickly. But if I
Hmm.
really step back and do some deep diving, I'm getting frustrated and it's BS. Like I
Hmm.
keep saying I'm doing all the right things and really am I? No, I'm not. And I feel like if you're being honest with yourself, you're probably not doing all of the things right too.
Right.
And by the way, this I made a flow chart. And when I tell you that it looks easy when you sit down on paper, I 100% recognize it's hard.
Hmm.
If weight loss was easy, there would be no Ozempic or Wegovy or any of those. There would be no Weight Watchers. There would be
Hmm.
no anything. If weight loss
Hmm.
was easy, we wouldn't even be having a podcast. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It
Right.
is so hard. So
Hmm.
hard. So I wanted to make a flow chart for myself. But really
Okay.
it's like I needed to say to you, okay, to myself, like, really, Leah, are you really doing it all right? No, you're not. You're not doing it all right. Because
Right.
when I do it right, I do really good. For 3 weeks in June, I did really, really good. Really good. And then that last week, it all crumbled and fell apart.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
could look at you and say, I'm doing it. I'm eating good. No, I know. Like, So I'll show you, but you can't see it, but I did send it to you.
It's
It's like,
amazing.
okay, keep in mind, I grew up with Cosmo and Teen Magazine and
Yes.
in Modern, and I loved those flowchart
Mhm.
things. Do you remember those pages in those magazines?
Yes.
I loved them. Those were my favorite things. So I made one for myself.
Oh, I can't wait.
Being honest with you, and if you're being honest with yourself, I think the number one question you need to ask yourself is, are you pre-planning?
Okay. But what if I don't have time?
Then you can't say you're doing everything right.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Right?
fine.
But just, do you see what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of these things that I wrote down, and I'm like, yeah, but I can't do that. But then I can't say I'm doing everything right, and I can't
Right.
get frustrated.
Yep.
You can't get frustrated if you quote unquote don't have time to pre-plan. You just
Right.
can't.
Right.
You have to say
Right.
this, because then what you're doing is you're fighting your own life. And when you fight your own life, it's just not a good place. It's mentally not a good place.
Yes.
Physically, it's like you have to go, all right, this week I can't pre-plan, but I can't get frustrated then at that scale.
Right.
Does
That's
that
a
make
really
sense?
good point. That's such a
Right?
good point.
That's
Yes.
like expecting, if you drive to work every single day and every single day get rush hour traffic, every day, you can't expect tomorrow to go and there not be rush hour. Like, that's what we're doing. We're not taking the time to pre-plan our day and then getting mad that it didn't work. Like, of course it
Right.
didn't work. You didn't take the time. And when
Right.
I say pre-plan, I think pre-plan is different for every single person. For
Mm-hmm.
some people, it's okay, I have this, and this in the fridge. It's just one of those three things.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know I'm going to the Winking Lizard tonight for dinner, so I'm probably going to get either this or this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it has to be, this is what we're having.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that. It can be a ballpark. But I think a lot of times I'm very guilty of waking up and hoping that I get everything that I need to get in for the day,
Yes.
being as I go and like, oh, I'm hungry right now. What should I eat? And then, but in the reality is, I kind of know what I have in my own home.
Absolutely.
Everybody does. And
Absolutely.
you kind of all know where you're going to eat unless you're on vacation. Like,
Yeah.
there's only a couple places you typically go to, families, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yes,
Is
I
that crazy?
agree. Well, our meals are generally the same 10 meals, I would
Right.
say.
Right.
Or even when we go out, it's the same. Like we went out, I think yesterday, and somebody's like, I'm just having my usual. I don't even need to look at the menu. You know what you're going to order typically.
Mhm.
You know what dessert you want. You know what appetizer you want. You know the meal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Also, two other things. You can't tell me that you can't pre-plan your whole day. You can't. You can plan
Yeah.
breakfast. You can pre-plan your breakfast.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
pre-plan your lunch. Like, people are always like, "Well, I have no idea what I'm going to do today." You can choose to plan if it's that important.
Well, I think it has to be connected to like if you're planning where you're going, what you're working on, what your meetings you have. It's the same kind of idea.
Right.
Is you have to plan for those things. Why can't you plan for your food, which is such
Right.
an important part?
And also, you can just plan, okay, I'm going to only have 300 calories at breakfast, 500 calories at lunch, and 500 calories at dinner. You just planned your day.
Yes,
Like, that's a form of pre-planning,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Don't
Yes.
think too much into it. Okay, so from there I did a yes and a no, right?
Hmm.
And then I won't do the whole chart because it's a lot. My second question is, if you are pre-planning, then are you weighing and measuring at least half of that food?
Okay. That's a fair question. I'm not.
Then how do you really know if you're getting what you need to? How do you know
Right.
what's keeping you full or not? Like, you might just be eyeballing a bowl of cereal, eating the whole bowl of cereal, but maybe only you need a half a bowl of cereal.
Hmm. Yes.
And I don't think you need to weigh everything, maybe a couple times, but like, it's very important to weigh and measure ice cream. Are you
Right.
are you saying I only have ice cream once a day, but it's 4 servings of ice cream?
Yes.
Right? Like, and here's the thing, all
Absolutely.
of these things I am 100% guilty of, and that's why I needed this chart, because I needed to look at it and go, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing that." So then you can,
What's the next question? If
are
I
you
am.
tracking?
Okay.
Then from there, are you under your calories?
Okay.
And then from there is, are you hitting protein and fiber?
Ah, yes. Good questions.
And then from there is, are you drinking water?
Did you put sleep on there?
Oh, that's far down. Because
Oh, is it?
you know how important sleep is for me.
Yeah.
I think that this stuff has to come even because there are some people that really have to struggle with sleep. And I don't know if you would even need to start working on that if you don't have any of the other stuff done.
Yes.
All right. So after that is, are you overindulging on the weekends?
Oh, wow.
Because some people will go, I'm tracking, I'm measuring, I'm under my calories, I'm hitting my fiber, and I'm drinking water. I'm doing everything right. But are you doing it on Saturday and Sunday too?
Yeah.
Or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yeah.
Right?
And that can ruin your whole progress.
Yep. And then how is your alcohol consumption?
Oh, that's a good question.
And then I throw in exercise,
My gosh.
right? And then I throw in the sleep.
I think I'm going to be using this flow chart
And
this
then I
week.
throw in stress.
Yeah.
But you pointed out to me once, and I say it all the time. You've told me once, you're always going to be stressed. So we have to find a way to manage it or deal with it. Yes, times it peaks and it's higher stress than others,
Yes.
but I can't just say and be frustrated over the scale not moving and say, well, I'm stressed. That becomes, I have to do some heavy duty work and find stress management. I even put some on here like get some stress friendly foods.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's a word. Stress friendly
Yes.
food.
What's something that comes to mind for you?
Stress friendly food for me currently are grapes. Yes, I
Oh,
get that they're a lot of sugar, but they're better for me than a bag of potato chips.
absolutely. And they
So
have
like,
nutrients.
yeah, stress friendly food. I can stress eat vegetables if it's a really good dip.
Hmm.
Like I bought that baba ganoush from Aladdin's and I was eating vegetables like crazy. I could do that. And in the grand scheme of things, I would think it's better than, again, chips,
Hmm.
eating a full fat dip.
Absolutely.
um Journal for stress relief, ask for help for stress relief, meditate for stress relief. Like there are things that you can do, but I
Absolutely.
just think it's we need to do it.
Yes. The part of the problem is it's like a loop, right? You're stressed, so you don't want to do anything. So you're stagnant, so then you're more stressed.
Mhm.
And you get stuck in this loop of I'm so stressed, but I don't want to do anything. And
Yeah,
then you feel lethargic and you're just more stressed.
but the reason I like it all laid out on this flow chart is because I can go, yeah, I'm stressed, but if you look at it, look at all the other stuff I can do. I don't
Right.
need to focus on the stress. That's going to be
Absolutely.
there. I am going to have this stress. I have the same husband, so it's going to be stress forever, right? Like when you go backwards, you go, okay, but there are other things I can focus on
Hmm.
and not the stress. And then the last step I have on this chart is time to talk to a doctor.
Oh, I think that's a good one, actually.
Because I have been very guilty of saying something's wrong with me. I just need to go to the doctor. But if I
Hmm.
look at my chart, I'm not really doing everything I should.
Well, but that's actually a good point because you might have a medical condition, or it could be something related to the medication you're taking, or it
Right,
could be any number of situations that are out of your control that
right.
you might need to get fixed.
Mhm. Okay, so two caveats I want to talk about really quick on my chart. You could easily say I did not put anything about processed food on here.
Hmm.
But in my experience from June and May, if I'm eating processed foods, I'm not hitting my protein and fiber and I'm not under my calories.
Oh my God,
So
that's such a good point.
I didn't need to put that on here
Wow, I'm blown
because
away by that. That's
if
so
I'm eating
obvious.
Doritos, I'm over my calories some way, shape, or form. And if I'm not over my calories, then I definitely didn't hit my protein and fiber.
Well, because you're not eating one Dorito.
Right. So that didn't need to be put on there for me. The second thing that I did not need to put on here, and I lost my train of thought. Um, was pooping or like your bathroom habits. Sorry. I didn't need to put that on here in my opinion, because if you're eating fiber and getting all of your roughage and drinking water and exercising,
Hmm.
probably are going to get rid of that constipation. Those are the
Absolutely.
3 things that you need. And if you're doing all of that, then you can go to the doctor and say, I need to help.
Yes.
But I think a lot of us are constipated and we're doing 2 out of the 3, but we're not exercising.
Yeah. And this all kind of comes back to what you said in the beginning of, I just want a quick fix. And maybe a lot of people are looking for that, especially with the options available these days. But I think long term for good health, you have to eat the fiber and you have to have the protein. You have to drink the water so your bowels are clear, so you can get rid of the toxins and the waste. And so you can feel better. So then you can exercise more.
Mhm.
That loop gets created.
Yeah. And I think it just needs for me, it needs to go in this order.
Hmm.
It needs to go in this order, and I can't just skip one. If I skip one, it's breaking my chain.
I love how much thought you put into this.
Oh, really? Thank you.
It's really, honestly, sometimes we don't want to see it.
No,
Like, I
I
don't,
don't want to. That's why I got mad. I saw this,
yeah.
I'm like, "No, I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing this, and I hate you." Like, I was really mad.
Yeah, sometimes we don't want to see the truth about ourselves, but this flow chart takes the onus a little bit off of it's our fault, lack willpower, we're just not good at this. Instead of saying that, we're saying, okay, did I do this? Yes or no? Did I do that? Yes or no? And it's less about you're a loser, you were never going to get it right. And it's more about let's just take responsibility and fix this problem,
Right, right.
which I like. I like this flow chart a lot.
Well, I feel actually excited about it. Like, I feel like I need to go since I see where I start now. By the way, I think everybody's flow chart might look different. I don't want
Sure.
anybody to think theirs is going to look like mine. But when I laid it out for me and what was causing frustration, I really went, okay, this is where I need to start, and then where. And then if I'm going no on any of these, then I'm not doing everything. And then
Yeah.
I can't get frustrated. I
Right.
think is my point.
Wow. This actually makes me feel more hopeful.
I know. I felt that way too. I'm still mad, but yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still mad too, but I'm very hopeful.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's
this was
I
good. I'm
yeah,
glad we talked about this. I'm really glad.
yes. Wait, I think I had one thing I wanted to tell you in my findings.
Hmm.
Yeah, a couple statistics, random ones. There was a study by University of Missouri, Columbia, and hours at a time without movement, your body stops producing lipase. How do you say that? Lipase. Lipase,
Pace.
which is a fat inhibiting enzyme that can be a big help in trying to achieve your weight loss goals. So what you said earlier, like you need to move. And if you're sitting
Hmm.
down binge watching something, get up and move, okay? And there's the same university did a study that said even standing and stretching 1 time an hour,
Hmm.
standing and stretching can boost your metabolism up to 13%. Okay, so it's not even saying going for a run or going for a walk. It's saying get up and stretch your body. Super
Hmm.
important. 4 hours or less of sleep, you are 73% more likely to be obese.
Oh my. That's not enough sleep to begin with.
No, but there are people that say, I'm good. I don't need to, my body doesn't need sleep.
Well, I also was reading that if you don't get enough sleep, your metabolism slows, you don't have enough energy for exercise, and then you also make poor
Poor
uh,
decisions.
diet decisions. Yeah.
You make poor decisions in general. Let's be honest. Diet and just in general. How many
Yes.
have you been like, why did I do that? Oh, I was tired. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then the stress part of it, which I think everybody knows, is when you are too stressed, you don't want to cook, you don't want to go shopping, you don't want to have a balanced meal. You are so busy and stressed that you can't do any of it. So you have to really start from the beginning and go, okay, I'm stressed, but I need to start somewhere.
And when you're stressed, your body tends to store more fat.
Hmm. There you go.
Hmm.
So
Ah,
that's something
yeah,
we got to work on, right?
yeah, definitely. I don't think I have anything else that's
I don't
interesting
think I
as
do
your
either.
flow chart.
I don't think I do. Okay, so we have to put this. Do you know how to do nice graphics and make it so we can share it with
I
everybody?
can definitely try. I
Well,
think
if
we
you
need to get
can't,
this out there.
if
Yes.
we can't, I'll just put it on there with all my chicken scratch in my handwriting
No, send it. I will. You sent it to me already, so I will make a flow chart and then I will
and
put it out.
tweak it. Tweak it.
And maybe I'll make my own based off of yours.
Oh, that'll be a good.
Mhm.
That's a good workshop topic.
See where I would do it differently.
Yeah. So what's your call to action this week?
Okay, so in August we're doing our sugar challenge
Yes.
or
Yes,
less
yes,
sugar
yes.
challenge. We're gonna try to stick to under 25 grams of added sugar per day. That does not include fruit, it does not include natural occurring sugars and items, but the added sugar. So like pasta sauce might have added sugar
Salad
or
dressing.
so yeah, any condiment, anything like that. So my goal this week is to only have dessert one time.
Not once a day.
Nope. And not even like, oh, it's only a little piece of candy or it's only a bit of chocolate. I mean, no treats. The only
Okay.
sugar I'm going to allow myself is the sugar in my tea in the morning. And then I'm going to try really hard not to have it, except for that one day I'm going to allow myself something nice and yummy
So
and
you won't
decadent.
even say, okay, one piece of good quality dark chocolate or something like that.
I just want to see if I can
See.
do it.
Okay.
I
I
want
think
to
that's really
see
important.
if I can eliminate it. How do I feel? I know the first few days I'm going to be like, oh, what is there? Why can't I eat it? And I'm going to be mad. But I really want to get over that hump to get to, I'm
Oh,
okay. I don't want it.
I want to know how long it takes you to get over that hump.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
So
this is good.
I really want to experiment with that this week.
Okay. And I want to know if you who you want to kill, why you want to kill it.
If the list changes at all
Yes.
without sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
And
that's
yours?
hard.
Yeah.
Well, I would be hard for me. I shouldn't speak for you. Because
It is going to be hard.
it's summer and I enjoy my ice cream bars. I enjoy snow cones and those type of things. So
I follow this random person, and she does like this Sunday binge where she eats something really sweet and yummy, and her face is like she's just all kind of deliriously happy. And I want to have that when I have my treat. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just eating something to eat it. So
yeah.
I'm gonna allow myself the one day in the week, and also see if I get satisfied sooner. There's a lot of
Okay.
things I want to explore.
Yeah. My brother and sister-in-law during the school year, they eat very clean and healthy and really like and that they don't deprive themselves. They don't cut out a food group, but they just eat clean and healthy. And then one day a weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, they go out to dinner wherever they want. They don't eat any fast food, and they like all week they plan it, and
Oh
it's so
wow,
exciting. And they're like, "Okay, should we go here?" And then like I'll ask them again, and they're like, "No, we decided not to go there because we wanted it this." Like it's like a thing, and
I like
they
that.
don't. The one time it was a carnival. There was a carnival in town, and that's where they were choosing to eat because they were like, "We're
Hmm.
getting whatever." Like the one day it was the Kentucky Derby, and that was their, like, quote, unquote, like, "splurge day," like, but they look forward to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So, my call to action, 1 might 2, I have the same thing, I wanna get 7 days of my Fitbit,
Hmm.
but I also since number 1 on my flow chart is pre-plan, I'm gonna do 3 days. I'm gonna pre-plan
Okay.
3 days.
I love this.
I would love to do all 7, but I'm gonna be realistic and say I don't know if I can do all 7, but I'm gonna do 3. So
Will
which means
you
for me, it means I need to build it into my day or my night. So I need to either get up a little bit earlier and think about it or at night before bed, plan it that at that time.
will you post some of your planned days, or at least one?
Sure. Sure, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Post it on your Instagram or on our Wait What Facebook page or
Okay.
um
My
your
pre-plan. Wait, is
yeah.
it's today? I could maybe do it today still.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can find you at WW Chick Leah or on our Wait What Facebook
Wait, what?
page
I'll
or
do it on both. Yeah.
and I'll try to post my stuff, my craziness on my health coach comment.
Please, I
Instagram,
can't wait.
Facebook. Yeah.
That'll be great. All right. Well, good. Have a great week then.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.